A ship crashes into an uncharted planet after being hit by an asteroid belt, causing the demise of everyone except the pilot and a kid. On their journey to find the escape vessel, they have rough encounters with the wildlife of the planet. Can they make it to the escape vessel on time before the looming threat hits the planet? Let us find out in the 2023 action and science fiction film 65. 65 million years ago, before mankind was even born, other civilizations were already exploring the infinity of space. On a very distant planet called Somurus, a family is currently having a trip to the ocean side. While the daughter, Nevine, is trying to learn how to whistle using her hands, her parents, Mills and Alia, are talking about Mills' upcoming job in space. Mills is a space pilot, and his upcoming job will require him to spend 2 years in space. This, so far, will be the longest trip he will ever have. Despite not wanting to be far and separated from his family for that long period of time, Mills sees this as an opportunity to earn a good amount of money so they can afford Nevine's treatment. As it turns out, Nevine has a terminal illness, so Mills is willing to do anything for her daughter. However, he is doubting whether or not Nevine will understand why he needs to be gone for 2 years. Alia, on the other hand, assures him that their daughter is strong and resilient, so she will get why Mills has to go. He is still worried that 2 years is a very long time for him to be gone, but Alia says that if he does it, their daughter will live and will be waiting for him to get home. In that sense, Mills musters up all his courage and approaches Nevine, eventually showing her how to whistle properly. And when she finally knows how to, the father and daughter hug each other. While doing so, Nevine reveals that she knows that he has to leave again. However, she doesn't know for how long, so when she learns that Mills will be gone for 2 years, her world turns upside down. 2 years later, just as Mills is about to get home to Somurus, his ship is hit by an unexpected asteroid activity. The hit causes them to crash into an uncharted planet, causing every cryo chamber to fly out of the ship. To make matters worse, the ship is torn in half and the escape vessel is on the part which landed on top of a mountain. When Mills wakes up, he immediately treats his wound and checks on his passengers, only to find out that he's the only survivor left. Just then, he hears a loud thud coming from outside, and what seems to be a pool of blood is spilled from outdoors. Taking precautions, Mills gears up and heads outside to check the surroundings. As he walks through the swamp, he doesn't notice that a creature is lurking around him. At this time, he finally sees the bodies of his passengers who either flew out of their chamber or died trying to get into the ship. Because of that, Mills tries to send a distress signal and is about to ask for help. But when he sees a gun and realizes how he fails his passengers, he deletes his first message. Instead, he tells the command center not to send help as he plans to take his life away as well. However, Mills remembers his daughter, so he cannot have the strength to pull the trigger. At this time, he goes back to the ship to watch a video of Nevine. But to his surprise, a cryostasis pod turns out to survive a harsh landing. Due to that, he quickly searches for it, revealing a girl that's almost the same age as Nevine. Yet, on their way back to the ship, Mills sees a large footprint of a dinosaur and hears a loud roar from the distance. As it turns out, the ship landed on Earth, which is still inhabited by dinosaurs. When the sun rises, Mills heads outside to look for the trace of the half of the ship where the escape pods are. Roaming around the area, he finds the remains of a dinosaur and gets surprised when a stream of hot water erupts from the ground. Yet when the steam is gone, Mills sees a shining light from a nearby mountain. Using his gadget, he scans the area where the shining is coming from and confirms that it's the half of the ship. According to his gadget, he is 15 kilometers away from it, making it a rough trip because of the unfamiliar wildlife on the planet that is alien to Mills. Just then, he gets attacked by a baby dinosaur, which he successfully takes down shortly. Continuing on his way, he notices that something is following him. But when he checks on it, it is revealed that it's just the kid. However, he scares her, so she runs away from him, causing him to chase after her. The two end up tripping near a dead dinosaur when they hear that another big dinosaur is approaching their way. Acting quickly, Mills pulls the kid away and they head back to the ship. There he asks some questions to the kid, but she's speaking in a different language so they cannot understand each other. Looking at the passenger's record, Mills learns that the girl's name is Ko. Just then, he tries to explain to her slowly what they will do. Using what seems to be a seasoning, Mills illustrates that they need to move to the mountain to reach the escape pod so they can go home to their family. Despite the difference in language, Ko picks up the words move, mountain, home, and family. Also, when she hears the word family, she draws two stick figure people, referring to her parents. At this moment, Mills is forced to lie to her, telling her that she can find her parents at the top of the mountain. With that, he finally convinces the kid to go with him. In a moment, Mills sends another message to Somerus and is now requesting help as he tells them that he found one survivor in the crash. Meanwhile, Ko stumbles upon the video recordings of Nevine that she sent to her father while he was on the mission and watches it. Not long after, Mills shows up and stops the video, stating that they need to go. And after some preparations, the two start their 15-kilometer journey to the escape vessel. On their way, Ko sees a berry-looking fruit and throws it at Mills to annoy him. When he catches one, he looks at it and scans using another gadget. Unfortunately, it's not edible, so he tells Ko to not dare eat it. Shortly, an insect lands on Mills and he smashes it immediately. However, its blood is so sticky that a rotten tree skin attaches to his hand. Seeing this, Ko laughs at him, so he playfully scares her that he will stick the insect blood on her. Some time later, Ko hears something from a distance, so she runs to find where the noise is coming from. At this time, she finds a baby dinosaur that's stuck in a tar. Mills tells her to just let it be, but Ko rushes to the baby dinosaur to help it, leaving Mills with no choice but to help as well. However, just as the baby dinosaur gets out of the tar, it gets attacked by another group of baby dinosaurs. Witnessing this, Ko breaks down crying, taking pity on the poor dinosaur. Acting quickly, Mills hides and shushes her down before the other dinosaurs hear her. When the vicious animals are gone, Mills warns her that she can get herself killed if she acts recklessly again. The two then continue on their way until they find a waterfall and stop for a while. Luckily, the water is drinkable for them. Looking at Ko, Mills remembers the times that he spent with Nevine back on Somerus. After a while, they go on once again. But to Mills' confusion, the signal from his device gets disrupted. Looking around, he finds a tall tree and decides to climb it so he can scan the area once more. However, he's bitten by an insect, causing him to fall and dislocate his arm. To make matters worse, the noise he created attracts some creepy-looking long-necked and four-legged dinosaurs. Ko hands the gun to Mills, then he orders her to put pressure on his arm. With that, he puts back his dislocated arm in place and quickly shoots the dinosaur. But they are outnumbered and get surrounded immediately, so Mills tells Ko to run while he stays back to fight. However, he doesn't notice that some of the dinosaurs get past him and catch up to Ko. Fortunately, Mills shows up on time before she gets attacked. Yet, another dinosaur manages to snatch and drag Ko away from him. Mills quickly runs after them and shoots at the dinosaur, scaring it away. But Ko is really scared that she doesn't want to move away from the safety of the rock in her back. Noticing this, Mills gives her time to recover and doesn't force her to move against her will. To pass the time and also ease up the kid's fear, Mills tries to teach her to whistle using her hand. But to her surprise, she already knew how to whistle, just with a different style. At this time, Ko finally agrees to move, so they continue for a short while before finding a safe space to rest. Looking at the night sky, Ko utters the word home. Because of that, Mills tries to show her Somerus using the gadget that he points to the sky. However, the gadget detected another anomaly in space. Analyzing the anomaly further, the gadget cannot identify it. Yet, upon seeing chunks of meteor outside the planet's atmosphere, Mills somehow knows what's going to happen next. Unexpectedly, Ko hands her a recording of Nevine, which he doesn't know that she brought along. Ordering her to go to sleep, Mills plays Nevine's video in the hologram projector. Seeing her, he cries to sleep as he remembers the moment when Nevine died and he wasn't there for her. In a while, Mills is awakened by the alarm. Checking the surroundings, he finds nothing except Ko, who's salivating as if she's being poisoned. Mills quickly checks on her mouth and finds an insect inside, so he kills it to allow Ko to vomit, eventually saving her. However, the alarm is still not turning off. Just then, they hear a dinosaur from deep inside the cave. Yet, when they turn back, they also see a huge dinosaur waiting for them outside the cave. Left with no other choice, Mills shoots the big one and they go further into the cave, gambling on whatever's inside it. Scanning the area, the gadget traces the air current to search for a path outside the cave, but they only end up at a dead end. Mills tries to make an opening but fails miserably. On the other hand, Ko wants him to continue, but he's too tired to do it. Losing hope, Mills reveals to Ko that he lies to her about her parents being on top of the mountain. He apologizes to her, yet since they speak different languages, Ko understands nothing in his confession. Just then, he remembers the bombs he brings. So he gives some Ko for her to use in case of emergency, while the rest are used to open up a hole. At first, their plan works as Ko manages to cross and finds her way out of the cave. Unfortunately, another pile of rocks crashes into the hole, trapping Mills inside the cave. Mills screams in agony, thinking that Ko was pinned by the rocks. But to his relief, he hears her whistling, letting him know that she made it out. With that, he starts to look for an alternative route to get out when he's suddenly attacked by the cave-dwelling dinosaur. Fighting in an unfamiliar territory, Mills struggles to fend off the dinosaur. Worst, his flashlight runs out of power as well. By good fortune, he finds his footing and manages to turn the tides of the fight around, killing the cave-dwelling dinosaur. When Mills finally gets out of the cave, and the first thing he sees is the asteroids from the sky. Scanning it, he confirms that the asteroid belt that will hit the planet soon is the same belt that hit their ship before. But this time, it will be more deadly than before. Due to that, he immediately looks for Ko. Meanwhile, Ko roams around and hears different dinosaur noises. Taking precautions, she picks up a bone that has a sharp edge and covers it with the juice of the berry-looking thing she found yesterday. Not long after, she gets attacked by baby dinosaurs, and her scream is heard by Mills, so he quickly runs in her direction. However, he accidentally falls into quicksand, screaming Ko's name. At the same time, Ko is being hunted by the dinosaur. Thinking quickly, she uses the bombs that Mills gave her and traps the dinosaur in the tree log to kill it. Then, she heads to the quicksand and helps Mills get out, ultimately saving his life from certain death. And to her surprise, Mills hugs her as he is finally sure that she's safe. After thanking her, he explains to Ko what is going to happen, referring to the asteroid that will hit the planet. Due to that, they need to reach the mountain as fast as they can before they get caught in the blast. As per the gadget's estimation, they only have 12 hours before the impact. With that, Mills and Ko get on the move and they reach the steep part of the mountain. Ko suggests that she can climb to the top, so Mills gives her the rope and orders her to tie it somewhere safe so he can follow her afterward. With that, they finally reach the half of the ship as the night falls. There, Mills runs diagnostic of the escape vessel, and it's luckily operational from its thrusters to life support. Also, Somerus received his message before and is currently sending a rescue ship to pick them up once they get out of the planet's atmosphere. On the other hand, Ko is looking for her parents and wondering where they are. Seeing this, Mills tries to explain once again that they're already gone, apologizing that he lies to her. When Ko realizes that Mills tricked her, she gets angry at him. He then continues apologizing, telling her about Navine. According to Mills, the last time he saw her, she was mad at him because he needs to leave for a long time. And while he was away, her sickness got worse, eventually leading to her death. He regrets that her daughter died and he was not there for her. So he doesn't want to make the same mistakes again. Mills wants to be with Ko through all this until he makes sure that she gets home safely. With that, Ko finally comes down and the two hug each other. But time is not on their side as the asteroids start falling already. Due to that, they head back to the escape vessel to leave. However, the ship gets hit by asteroids as well, causing them to fall from the mountain. As luck would have it for them, the two are safe because they are strapped in their seats. Ko wakes up first and she tries to launch the escape vessel. But since they're currently upside down, the orientation of the vessel doesn't allow them to launch. Shortly after, Mills wakes up as well, just as the dinosaurs find them. Unbuckling himself from the seat, Mills heads outside to distract the big dinosaur away from Ko. At this time, he picks up his gun, but it's not working. Acting quickly, he hides to stall some time and fixes the gun to get it to work again. However, another big dinosaur shows up, cornering Mills. Seeing this, Ko slips out from the seatbelt and uses the hologram projector to project an image of Navine, confusing the dinosaur to think that it is a prey. This then gives an opening to Mills, so he shoots one of the big dinosaurs and kills it. Meanwhile, the other one attacks Ko and throws the escape vessel around. Witnessing this, Mills empties his gun on the dinosaur until it's dead. Yet, because of what the dinosaur did, the vessel gets into its proper orientation, allowing them to finally launch. But they're not safe yet as another Nig dinosaur shows up. And this time, it's the one Mills wounded back when they were in the cave. Looking at Ko, he orders her to launch the ship while he takes the attention of the dinosaur and runs away. Mills leads the dinosaur to the area where the steam of hot water is erupting from the earth, using it against the vicious animal. However, it does little to no damage at all as the dinosaur is still standing mighty in front of him. But to his surprise, Ko comes out running and stabs the dinosaur in the eye. And this time, another steam of hot water erupts from the ground and hits the dinosaur. Due to its volume and extra hot water, it finally kills the predator, barely cooking its skin in the process. Ko once again saves Mills' life. Yet, they're still not totally safe because the asteroids are still coming. Because of that, they head back to the escape vessel and launch into space. The movie ends with the asteroids hitting the planet's surface, beginning the extinction of every dinosaur species. 65 gives another angle to the Guardian Children figure trope movies by actually putting them against nature, hence the threat of the dinosaurs. Also, they use dinosaurs uniquely by not incorporating any time travel or cloning shenanigans in the film. It's just two people who happen to crash on Earth before any human civilization takes place. Lastly, the use of the asteroid incident is also well executed, making it the looming threat aside from the dinosaurs in the film. Overall, 65 is a pretty good movie to watch, but the pacing can still be better. Although it is just an hour-and-a-half movie, it feels like you are watching a 2-hour film.